And I don't wanna close my eyes. I don't wanna fall asleep. 'Cause I miss you, babe. The sweetest thing I ever.
Gonna miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing.
Oh, all right.
Even when I
Yeah.
dream of you. No, I'm talking loud. Hello, cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest things we ever do, I still miss you. And I don't want. I know. I already turned it up.
The sweetest thing to
And I
never
don't wanna miss
do.
a
I
thing.
still miss you, babe. And I don't wanna miss a thing.
And I don't wanna miss a thing. I like this.
The ShedCast. Brought to you by Alien Entourage and the Riverside culture.
We are now live. What's up, everybody? You're in the fucking shed with your boy Sid Floyd right now. Look around, and we're gonna get into the fucking ShedCast. And our guest today, you'll find out soon. But you're here now with us. What do you say we fucking get started?
Let's do it.
All right.
Ready, Tech?
What do you say? What do you say?
Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Welcome to the ShedCast with your boy Mike Nice. As usual, I got to my right, Tech 8.
You're.
I got to my left, Sid Floyd.
Is that
It's actually backwards today, but I'm used to saying it like that.
So I'm not Starburst today. I'm
You're not Starburst
I'm Portside.
today.
I'm Portside.
You're Portland.
I'm Portside. Shout out to
And shout out to
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer. Absolutely. Portside.
Port wine.
And and we got a guest today, special guest. And
Yo,
you
yo.
want to introduce yourself?
It's the Obvious Hobbyist up in here. Floss it, don't toss it, baby.
That's right. You can catch him on Instagram at the Obvious Hobbyist and other platforms soon.
Soon to come.
Yeah, and we'll be getting into some cool tech talk, some IT shit, cryptos. I just found out that cryptocurrency is one word.
All right. So
I
that's
thought
progress,
it was 2 words.
bro. That's a successful day.
That's right.
So you're already learning something.
We're always learning.
Speaking of cryptocurrency, that's what our guest is here to basically discuss today.
That's right.
Do you want to basically give us a broad stroke into your understanding or like background of crypto?
Yeah, my only familiarity with it is having been near it while it's unfolding, and basically it's a technology that looks to offer itself in the currency market, right? It's an asset class, and it's the first asset class, from my understanding, that's been created since the 1600s when the bond was created. So it's had a lot of impact on all the communities that are interacting with it, that have to do financial interactions, especially like cross-border shit.
How does it, not to interrupt you, but how does it relate to like bonds being created in the 1600s?
It's an asset class in that banks create and society has the need for a type of class of assets.
Okay.
And there's different classes of assets. And the reason I make mention is because the last one that was created, being in the 1600s, kind of gives you a little perspective as to how the people on the back end of financial infrastructure that's in place, like the global infrastructure, the people who run the fucking world, this is all new to them too. So it's scary to them, it kind of steps on their toes, or it could, potentially. So my coming into it has just been from the bubble, the little boom that happened the year before last, and me being interested in it too, because it's technical and I'm there with it. So I am a cryptocurrency buyer. I listen to a lot, as much as I can, and I try to learn as much as I can, but I'm in no way an authority. I just found myself interacting with it a lot and learning day by day, and
Neither
watching
of any
it
or any
grow.
of us in any subject matter.
And that's the point of this.
Yeah.
Is because the more people I talk to, the more I realize nobody really knows about it. And it's kind of like the .com boom. It came up out of nowhere, and when it really hits and changes everything, people will look back and realize it was kind of there for way longer than they thought. So it's an interesting topic to get involved with.
And everyone's gonna have that story where they're like, "Oh, I could have got into it. My buddy
Of course.
My buddy was like, "Yo, you should put in this," and I never did.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, my pop says that all the time with AOL.
Tech has
That's
a funny
exact-
story where he said back in the day he had 3 Bitcoin.
No.
Yeah.
When it first went popping, when they were like $100, $50, $100 Bitcoin things.
Yeah, but I bought stuff off the dark web.
Uh-oh.
So,
So he
Shut it down.
Dark coins,
he
dark coins.
He spent the Bitcoin on
That
the
sound
dark
live.
web. But
spent that on the
imagine if you had just held it.
I think when I first
like
the first
10
one I
years.
bought was $94,
Yeah,
and then the second two I bought were like $111.
yeah.
Wow.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
Wow. Because
Yeah.
they hit like 20,000.
Yeah, I know. It
Late
was
last year and early
this was
this year.
maybe 2012, 2011.
yeah.
A
That's,
long time ago.
What's the current standing of Bitcoin?
I
at the-
think
at
it's
the moment?
9,800. I think.
It's
Nowhere
within
near.
the upper 9,000, around the 10,000 range. And I just read an article that said 10 years ago, like to last week, if you'd spent $100 on Bitcoin, you would have $19.5 million right now.
Jesus shit, man.
So it's one of those things. And when we look, and it's like, you know, your old man said about AOL, or
Yeah.
for me, you know, I had flesh in the game. You know, I generated and then lost $250,000 of Priceline stock, and to stumble into this moment where there's this asset class that is going to take over and have its place regardless of what people are comfortable with or not, and not look at it as a possible investment is just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Even if you invest $10, it's worth it just
Yeah.
to roll the dice. Because what you're going to do, you're going to be old and looking back and see who made what. And you either tried or you didn't. It's not about losing. It's about trying, you know?
And it's a long game anyways, so like,
Yeah.
you know, even if you are only putting in a little bit,
That's exactly
you know,
where it's
I
at.
feel like a lot of the people that are knocking it now or like not getting into it are because they thought it was a short game, or they still think it's a short game, and that like it's already expired.
It's past.
Like it's like when you get, you know, like when the new Call of Duty comes out, how like you have like a very small window before everyone is gonna just be fucking
have a funny-
raping you.
just a tag to put into that though. But if you go on right now to like Call of Duty 3,
Yeah.
it's still packed with people.
Oh,
playing,
100%.
which
Because
is,
I
like-
played Black Ops like 2, and it's the same fucking.
So
Yeah.
now it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But then
No.
it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Absolutely.
the investment depends on what type of player you are in the game. If you're a whale, then you can master the short back and forth investments. If you're like us, it's better off to just kind of plug away, learn as you can, and invest your money, and never invest more than you're willing to lose. But always learn about what you're investing in, regardless of where you're investing it.
Yeah.
Bitcoin right now is at 10,415.
Really?
Yeah. And I also want to say that we are not full spectrum right now.
Oh my god, bro. We did that shit again?
Because we always have a guest now. That's why.
Fuck.
What's that mean?
Because we have a
We're
fourth,
missing
a
our
fourth
fourth
shed
leg
member
right now.
is our boy Jeffrey Doomer at
That
Jeffrey
was
Doomer on
so
Instagram at
Damn.
Alien Entourage. Go check him
disrespectful
out.
of
He's
us.
doing moves, making moves down in DC.
Fuck. Dude, shout out to Doomer.
But it's because we always bring a guest on
I
now.
know, it's recently. Doomer, bro. Sorry.
He's the original third leg.
At Jeffrey Doomer. The original third leg, and he is one of our 4 legs. We're no longer bipedal. We move like Tarzan.
We're like a bear. We could choose to run on 2 or 4.
With an injured front paw, we could
run on
move
3.
on
Or like
3.
those old dogs that
Yeah.
have to lose one of their
Which
legs.
one of us would be the paw that wasn't walking on the ground? Me, you, or Tech? Which one? Like if the injured bear is walking on 2, who's the one that's just hanging up like with the limp paw?
And one strong paw? But that doesn't
The
touch-
strong? No,
so
they
one
are the
does-
strong paw.
No, one paw is
So
strong,
like
but
right
doesn't
now,
touch the
Jeff
ground.
is the limp paw. He's like
He
he
is the limp
stepped
paw.
down. He got like caught in a bear trap
Yeah.
or oh shit,
catch.
big catch bear trap, big catch Odell
That's
at
funny.
Mike Nice
No
CT.
chance you'll get him.
No
Nah,
chance.
bro. Yo, but so he gets stuck in a bear trap. Who's the hand that didn't get stuck in the bear trap, and who are the 2 feet that have to keep walking?
More of a tentacle.
I think Tech's got to be the tentacle not touching the ground.
Yeah, so he's up in the air.
He's up in the air. He's always up in the air, dude.
Speaking of sea creatures, can you touch on the term whale?
Yeah, that actually is a
Because
good,
I
a
don't know
good
if they
question.
know what that means.
Big fish.
Yeah, you know, a whale, of course, is a term who is for any type of person. You know, you could be referencing someone who's at the casino betting, someone who's in the stock market or whatever, but it basically just indicates that their purchases are enormous and they're kind of game changing, especially if some whales are working together. They can change the shift of tides, so to speak, and whatever that is part of. You know what I mean? And they do.
It's an
They
orca
fucking
hunting
do.
technique.
Yeah.
You know?
I only asked because the other day I saw that because there's a Twitter called Bitcoin Whale, I think it's called, and they just had 3 transactions over $450 million, and they only charged them $300.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, all 4 times. I think they spent like $1,200 to move like almost $1 billion.
It was
Crazy.
Yeah,
You're right on the money, and that became such a issue that the communities developed whale tracker websites. So now that is now in the public's eye if you're looking for it, because they see the impact it's going to have, you know, and especially in a situation like this where it's young, it's an infantile situation with the cryptocurrency and all that. It's like people don't want the whales to come in and beat it into the ground, although they do need the whales because it gives the volume of movement that they need for shit to be alive, you know.
It's like
and then
the
you got the smaller
ecosystem.
players. We're like the insects on the forest floor, right? We depend on the canopy growing and all the big trees and stuff, but also they depend on us too. So it's an ecosystem. We do need them, they need us, but neither one can really exploit each other to the point where shit caves in on itself.
All right, so not to disagree with you, but I like have a question or concern about that. Just like the whole aspect of whales being in the gameplay is like when crypto first came out, you noticed real quick which ones had like the whales, you know, involved in it, obviously. And then there were the small, like, quote unquote penny stocks, which were the fucking up and coming ones that you could try and hop on. That, you know,
Or had
you
the
didn't miss the
potential,
wave.
right? They were the pie in the skies, but some people were hitting on them, you know?
So my only thing was, you know how like insider trading in the stock market and purposely manipulating stock is illegal?
Yeah.
But it happens, obviously, on all levels. My concern is how much easier that is to do with cryptocurrency than it is to do with business stock, being that everything's based online. And like when you're like sharing this shit, like, so like cryptocurrency, correct me if I'm wrong, is essentially like the wager of stock in that particular currency for the most part. So it's like the attention and the popularity and the usage of that particular currency directly affects the price of it, just as like the fucking dollar or whatever paper currency. So if you have like a fucking currency that you're launching and you're able to start online campaign on Twitter, say, with a bunch of fucking bots and fake accounts, you could, I feel like, launch a fucking onslaught of online activity and up the stock of a given cryptocurrency, even if it doesn't last because it's fake. If for that blip you're able to fucking raise your stock and then like hop out or do some shit like that, I feel like that's an easy way to fucking cheat the market.
Yeah.
And we're all fucking susceptible. Like, we can't do any of that. Like, unless we had a massive media mogul enterprise. Like,
if you had the clout, if you were
mad
a whale,
follow,
you had the leverage.
Yeah.
Which we don't. And all markets are always going to be subject to manipulation, right? That's why we pay attention.
Yeah.
But I think that's, you know, one of the attributes of cryptocurrency is that it's cryptographically secure. So people like stocks, like bonds, like cryptocurrencies, these are all just things that we look to make valuable. But how do you store something? You know, how do you store value into something that you don't use?
I have
right?
one question.
Yeah.
It has to go with this.
Yeah.
So like when I first heard about Bitcoin, my first thing was that so some guy created a Bitcoin. So then why do we even value it as a currency?
Right.
Like he's saying, oh, I only made this many, and if you can get them, they'll be worth money. But like how does that, like, isn't it just creating something out of nothing?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to back it. Like,
Correct.
what backs
It's exactly like currency.
Well,
it's
I know
actually
that, but
created out of nothing.
But it didn't start off
in that
way,
aspect.
because like our currency was backed at one point, but I feel like it was backed by gold.
But is it though? But it's but what is
It's
gold?
a
But what
fiat.
is gold though? Like,
But
if
it's
you
because
really
we
want to
value
determine,
because it has value
Exactly.
as a mineral. But
But why does it have
cryptocurrency,
value?
well, because we
Currency has-
use
They
it for
say it does.
various certain things. We just know that it's. But like cryptocurrency doesn't have a backing.
it has
like
a
one
value
day-
in
no,
popularity
one
the same
day-
way that gold
it does,
does.
though.
But what if one day it's just gone? Gold is
It
actually
being-
a mineral you can actually physically hold.
It's like electronic gold, though. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's on a microchip.
Yeah,
it's on a
like,
processor somewhere.
I don't. I guess what I'm saying is like we've always been physical. Like right now, I know our money doesn't have a physical backing. Like we run on whatever, like military shit.
Well, it's our military.
Yeah, our military. It runs on
we
our
make
military.
our money relevant through force. When
yes, I agree with it now. But
we don't drink the Kool-Aid. We're showing up, bro.
But I feel like cryptocurrency doesn't have that backing. It doesn't have gold physically.
No,
it doesn't have a military.
Backing.
It doesn't have any type of backing.
And
like, period. I never understood what the backing of it was.
That's the main reason I wanted to start this discussion, is because what you've mentioned, and gold is such a good example, because what's its intrinsic value? Why does it have a value? Well, we use it for a couple different things. So it's got not only value in, can be used in jewelry, which seems like it's stupid, but it's a market, and the gold market, I think, is like 8 trillion. Like the everyday daily market of gold is in the $8 trillion mark. But on a utility aspect, what does gold do for us? Well, we can melt it down. We can use it as jewelry. We can also utilize it for electronics, which you can't go 2 feet without tripping over 3 pieces of electronics. So it's got that utility that makes it so we can store value in it too. And then extra value goes into that because people know people are going to use it. It's going to continue to be relevant. So I think relevance is one of those attributes that allows people to go to the next level with something and say, we can store value in this. But back in the day, bankers, from my understanding, were made from goldsmiths. It all wound up going together where the goldsmiths would wound up housing gold, and they'd give receipts, what would turn into bank accounts and savings accounts. And then it turned into credit systems where we didn't need the gold to back it up. You needed 10% of the gold there, and you could get a lot more worth of credit.
Who was the first fucking genius that was like, dude, why don't you...
just borrow this.
IOUs.
Yeah, borrow this.
That's all it is. It's a receipt. Now I just pulled this receipt out of thin air, and you don't know what's in the vault. So what are you going to do if you're the vault keeper? I'm going to keep making bread. And that's what happened generation after generation. And that's why we're at a place with currency that we need something that we can put value in. In this case, the one thing that this cryptocurrency brings to the table to defeat our current currency is that it's cryptographically secure. In other words, there's a hash code, which is just an encryption chain. It's just data, but it's non-replicatable. You can't replicate it. It's one. So when it's completed, it's called a token. But all it is like if you were back in the day and you took notes of where your money was coming and going, it's a digital ledger of that's then encrypted.
And then so based on the people that are interested in using it, that's kind of what gains the value of it, because now more people want it,
and
or even just talking about it
and like accepting it as real currency, or
because it channels through where we do our business, which is the fucking internet. You can't send gold through the internet.
No,
it's going to be electronically transferred at some point or another. Whether you gave gold to someone or received it from someone, it didn't start or end there. So with cryptocurrency, now you have I gave Mike $5, and then the other side of that is ledger is Mike saying you gave me $5, and then boom, that little piece of information's secure. It's encrypted. So it's no one's business at that point, and it's locked in. And then there's other computers around the world that keep shit honest, so that there isn't a double spend thing. So now I can't give you $5 and give Rob the same fucking $5. Sorry,
because the vault is open for everyone to see.
Right, and now people got to be honest with it, because they can't.
So I have
duplicate
a question on
you
that
can't
too.
Double spend it.
So what makes people want to accept it as currency like that? So now you've got it. So now you want to spend it. What makes me go, why should I accept that currency when I know when there's nothing backing it for me? Like if I'm a business, why would I let you buy a car with a Bitcoin? Now I have a Bitcoin and maybe it's not worth anything.
I think you see the opportunity in it. I would. This is how I viewed it when the whole thing even occurred. Is like there was one that I had bought into. It was called NYC coin, and the reason why I bought into it is because it was a coin that was made specifically for like the boroughs of New York. So when you're in this massive tourist attraction of a place, you spend this particular currency, and then you would get discounts, boosts, like that whole deal while you're there, because you're spending that particular currency in that particular location. So I thought
that keeps it circulating.
So I thought that business owners would look at that themselves and be like, okay, well, if we could do something like that collectively, and I could get in on it early, then not only can I benefit from people wanting to use it at my establishment, but I could also raise the value of it myself. Like, you could be personally accountable for raising the value of it by, being part of this wave that used it. That's the way I would see it,
I just feel like that maybe not small, but I feel like businesses might get scared of it because it's like if you use an American dollar, it's backed by our country, so like that value, you bring it anywhere, it's gonna be worth something. Where I feel like the cryptocurrency is like, it might not be valuable everywhere. Dude. Or it might just lose value out of nowhere.
The way that I see it is, does anyone ever have enough dollars?
No.
Does any business ever go, okay, we're good,
That's
hands
true.
clean? You know what I'm saying? So when you see this opportunity for you to be on the cusp of this thing that's going to make you even more money, or even if it's not creating a massive loss to you, you're not hemorrhaging money by putting capital into it. Maybe if it's not a lot, you do whatever. I lost what I was saying.
I think like Bitcoin in itself is like just a brand. Like, you're betting on the brand. Like, there's no, it's like it's intangible. Like, it's an intangible asset. Like, and there's
but it is tangible though.
There's not really like, well, it's intangible though, because like you don't even have a physical thing. It's more of like you're betting on like intellectual property or like copyright. Or,
yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I feel you, but like you kind of do, because it's still based within like bandwidth, and it still exists to some finite level.
It's just like, I think like because it's a stock, and you're betting on the actual name of the business.
Yeah,
like,
because there's no product.
There's no product. Yeah, the product is the Bitcoin. Yeah.
So it's like, what are you offering?
And I feel like it's a freedom. Like, the people bet on it in the beginning because they wanted to get away from like the normal. Like, they thought like it was a way away from banks.
Because they thought maybe
like
the banks
Donald
were
Trump
gonna fail.
Of currency.
Yeah.
It was a way to like get away from like putting your money in banks.
Yeah. I feel like it's more of that, where people are scared to thinking that the currency now is gonna fail. And they're gonna need some other kind of alternative.
I'm sure people some people did it for that reason. Some people did it because they wanted to make quick money. Some people did it because they wanted to buy fucking illegal stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
But shout out to dark web.
Or some people did it because they needed to use the utility of it. They're not us from here.
Yeah.
Not rich. We're not rich. We're not huge, corporations or businesses that have to do transactions with other ones that are across countries that have different types of currencies.
Absolutely.
So now the difference would be if we were in Europe right now, there are different countries on that continent. We're the United States, so like the whole hoopla with the EU and the Brexit and the Euro and all this type of thing makes it so that there's more blockades to get money from one place to the other. And that's best case scenario. Here, you always got to consider we're the exception to the rule, so it's hard to understand what works for the rest of the world may not be what works for us. So it puts us in a different situation where we would look to invest in it because we don't need to really use it. And it hasn't developed into something that we'll use it at our level yet. But the back end people who are sending hundreds of millions and billions of dollars to each other over different borders, they do this because, again, it's cryptographically secure. So you can't pull a fast one. It is what it is. A token is a token. And Bitcoin is one type of cryptocurrency, which is, like you said, you're betting on a brand. But Bitcoin's just one. There's mad of them. And all they do is record the money that went back and forth and then fucking cryptographically secure it. So it's not like this. It's feasible that we would be in a better situation if we exchange money this way. Whether it's with this cryptocurrency or that one, it's way more feasible than what we're looking at. But again, from the U.S., it's hard to see it. Because you can go from fucking Puerto Rico to here, from Maine to, Texas. It's all American cops, all American money.
It's essentially the European Union, but just we're all like, it's in a different land base.
Yeah, we're standardized with our
states,
shit. Yeah. But if I sent you something and you're halfway across the world and you don't use U.S. dollars, at some point you're going to turn it into your money.
Dude, this happens to me. We've been buying beats. We've been in contact with fucking our boy Tom Sawyer. He lives in Portugal.
Right.
And we've had to
Buy
deal
beats
with
in euros.
Yeah.
And to do that,
interesting.
it takes time.
Yeah,
and it's
does,
fucking
and
expensive.
it costs me money. It costs me money on the exchange to transfer it.
Exactly.
Like it costs me more money, Western Union, to exchange it to transfer it into euros.
I think, for example, like if you were to send somebody, I don't even know if you can do it on PayPal or other things, but I think if the way that they work, if you were to send $1 million over PayPal, I think they would charge you $1,600 or something like that.
It's
Doesn't
insane.
seem doesn't seem unreasonable.
It doesn't seem unreasonable, but then when you talk about $450 million and they charge that guy $400,
Because there was no they.
they're exactly.
And that's the key. They're cutting out the people who run the fucking game and have been so fat they don't know what to do with themselves.
And that's what they talk. That when they're talking about decentralization, that's what they're speaking
it's
on.
banks.
There's
We're
no
talking
cap.
about world banks. We're talking about families own these banks. It's not like the best man for the job. It's not a democracy when it comes to the banking people. It's run by certain families and certain
dynasty.
groups of people from the beginning
from the very
who are richer
beginning.
than you could ever fucking imagine, and that's not fair for everyone else. So there's the need. The utility is because there's different currencies across the borders, and then the investment opportunity is for people like us right here, right now, who have the extra little bit of money to throw at it. The technology is right in our back door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Back pocket.
You go to Senegal, but you go to Senegal. I'm not saying I haven't been there, but I would assume there's more access to higher tech here than in most other places in the world, and that's why it puts us in a position to be investors.
Yeah.
So that being said, though, about like the families that fucking, I know you brought something up before the cast. How do you pronounce the name of the? What is it? It's whore. I didn't want to just
I
blatantly
just learned
fucking...
about this too, but yeah, and then it's HOARES.
The whores.
The whores, right? And if you want to pull them up on a big screen or something, just so we can all take a look at it. But apparently they're a family, multiple generations since their first involvement into the banking system somewhere in the 1600s.
Okay.
Or 1700s, 1762, something like that. So we're talking like
In
250 years ago. I want to say Britain.
Britain, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
But I mean,
so
like,
that
I
wouldn't
read
even
a lot.
be as old as like when they talk about like the Rothschilds and.
Rothschilds are younger than
Yeah, the Rothschilds is
no,
what.
they're way before. They're
Rothschilds is what started the American currency.
Nah, dude, that shit started back. That shit started back like when like families like back in but I'm saying way before the 1700s. If I'm not mistaken, I mean.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know the Rothschilds is they're responsible for the American dollar. They're the ones that loaned the country of America the money. So they as the country they always owed them. So then they created the central banking, I think, right? So then they could just lend money to the country.
Yeah, and now
then they started printing the money.
And they don't stop.
And they were the owners
used to be backed
of
by
the money.
Golden. Now it's not.
Yeah.
You know, now you got the the IMF running the show with these central banks, which is just a uniform term for rich ass motherfuckers who run the world, and that's not cool. I mean, if we forget all this and we just had two options on the table, rich family who can print it at will and it has a serial number on it, hooray for them, or a cryptographically secure ledger between you and I. And it's just between us. We exchange value. I mean, that brings us back to like barter ages where there was proof of exchange that no one can take away from you.
So how do you earn? How do you earn this currency?
So you can
I guess we can get into like the mining aspect.
Side note, real quick. I think you were right. If I'm not mistaken, it said that the Rothschilds were late 18th century. So if it was if the whores were before. They were like the 40s, like you were saying, then they would definitely be before the Rothschilds.
Bro, there's people.
It says that. Oh my God. It says in 1815 alone, the Rothschilds provided 9.8 million euros in subsidy loans to Britain's continental allies.
Yeah.
Just in 1815 alone. It says that it equates to $869 million today.
$869 million.
That is a fucking...
In 1815.
And it's not unheard of nowadays. But again, with the internet and the merging of everyone on the globe, there's a different situation now. Back then, you had the richest, and then I mean, look, this is all results of wars and shit. All you see is references of after Napoleonic Wars, Duke of Wellington. This is the convergence of like the richest people on the continents and then them deciding how are we going to make sure everybody stays broke to us. And I think that's what they came up with. So if that's on the table, or a cryptographically secure receipt of an exchange that took place between two people and it's their business,
I'll take that 10 out of 10.
I mean, I would take, it's a no-brainer to me, but that's because I see it the way I see it. And if I'm wrong, I would love to be told differently so I can learn it better, but that's my understanding of it.
Before you say that, I just want to make a comment about the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Do you think I think we should lower it so then you don't have to, so you can look over the mic.
Yeah, my eyes are fucked anyway.
I'm just saying because I feel like when you're talking, you're trying to see us. It makes it a lot easier when you're looking at us, you know? And I feel like the mic being so high, maybe just like lower in general.
I'm trying.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, you're good, bro.
But
I was going to say, though, so...
Bring up the Hoare family tech. HOARE, please.
Tech 7. No, I can't even say that. You're doing a great job. Fucking...
How do you spell that?
HOARE. $1672. I thought it was 1762. That's a whole different. That's another century, bro. These guys and girls.
1672.
This family.
Holy shit.
Okay. And it's the second oldest bank in the United Kingdom. So this isn't even the oldest group of people.
What's the first oldest bank in the United Kingdom?
It's the fifth oldest bank ever.
I don't know. I don't know who the first one is.
Fifth oldest bank in the world.
Tech,
I'm sure familiar names are on this list if we were to Google the top 10. I'm sure JP Morgan or Chase or whoever the fuck these guys are, they're somewhere on the list.
Tough. Let's see if we bring this up right now. The oldest... Oh, shit. Okay, so the oldest bank is... Damn.
In Italy?
No, I was looking up the United Kingdom. Okay. Jesus, they got weird-ass fucking names, bro.
It's no doubt where the wars were fought.
Oh, see, here we go. The Barenberg Bank.
Yeah, that's 1590.
Barenberg?
So that was the first bank?
That's Germany, though.
No, it's the oldest bank operating continuously with the same legal identity. The oldest merchant bank.
Oh, so they're still working.
1590.
The oldest bank in total, though, or was the fucking Banco Monte dei Paschi di Siena, which was established in 1472. Think about those fucking...
I thought like those the Knights Templar had a banking system like back in.
No, I think they just had a currency. So
what
like
year?
Economy.
What year was that though?
That was like the Dark Ages.
Those were those years, 1400s. Yeah.
Well, at that point, people were just killing and taking, and then writing history.
I mean,
behind them.
They were striking coins back in the Roman empires, so.
Yeah, that's right. There was money. There's always been money.
Like economy.
Yeah.
I mean, even before that, they used spice. I mean,
but they always traded and bartered and shit.
So on trading, real quick though, just to bring it back before we adjusted the mic.
Yeah.
Fucking. So with this, decentralization, where we're now using, like you said, these secure platforms.
If I may, not all cryptocurrencies are decentralized. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. I just want to clarify that.
Clarify further, if you wouldn't mind.
Just not all of them are decentralized. So. Not every cryptocurrency is against being centralized.
In what regard?
There's cryptocurrencies that are made to work in the bank systems and evolve the banking systems too.
Okay. All right, the banks are like launching their own cryptos. That would be an example of that?
Why not? Right.
Essentially, right. That's a good stock to invest in. Crypto Wells Fargo.
But then wouldn't it just be the same thing though? Because then
Fargo?
Where are they getting? That's what I'm understanding. If
no, it's Wells Fargo with a more secure. It's a more secure version of Wells Fargo where everything that is done with it is accounted for. There's no you put your fucking paycheck in the bank.
But
and
this is my question.
Then you go to get it and it's not there.
But this is my question though. So that's a crypto. No, that's not a cryptocurrency though.
It would be.
No, but then do they get to decide how much they have? Like, okay, we have.
You could decide whether you want to. You could decide with crypto. I don't think you need to decide to make a cap. It's just if you make a cap,
but then
it puts your
but
value
there has
up.
to be a cap.
It puts your value up.
No.
No, it doesn't.
As a whole.
No,
Because
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Bitcoin has there's only so many Bitcoin.
But it doesn't
Bitcoin's
need
got
to.
a
But that
No,
guy
it does.
decided how
It's
much.
based on the math.
Yeah.
It's based on the algorithms.
That's how you add
and
the value.
the data sizes in the algorithms that are used that will output X amount of tokens when all the algorithms are run
Yes.
and complete and there's no more.
So
you know
need
how
a
much
ceiling.
it's capable of.
So
I'm
you
sure there's
need-
math to get there, but
So you need a ceiling to judge it.
There's always a ceiling.
You need a ceiling.
dependent on the type of encryptions that you're using.
Yeah. Well.
So in Bitcoin, there's only what, like 20 fucking something.
yeah. Whatever the number.
I forget 20. So XRP has, I think, 100 billion, and they mined it up front because that's that's their platforms. They don't want to be centralized. They don't want to be decentralized. They want to work with the banks. That's a smarter business move, if you ask me, because we are not getting away from the banks.
The market
That's
cap
the reality.
is 185.36 billion.
Yeah.
For Bitcoin.
So that's in that's in that market right now. There's something like 13 trillion or something in the overall cryptocurrency market. So when guys like us, or whoever, people like us buy here and there, we're putting money in that market. When the whales come through and move around their 500 million, if even for a day, that money's in that market. So that's how the value gets there in the first place. Long enough to do the transactions, and then when the transactions are done and everybody's happy and paid, they're going to use it again. So that's how it keeps the value in the market. And the more money in each market, usually the more money you're going to get for the token.
So who picks the number though of the cap? The creator of Bitcoin?
It depends on the type of. So when you encrypt something, it's this weird fucking combination of characters that can't be replicated.
Okay.
Right? It's putting it in an envelope that nobody can fucking open. It's like a wax seal back in the day, right? You can't open it though. So dependent on the math that it's using to do those calculations, that rhythm can only output X amount of whole numbers. Each whole number is a token, to my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So the math that they use for Bitcoin is different than the math that they use for XRP. The math that they used for XRP's algorithms, their little calculations to make a token, produced 100 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Does this update live? The market value.
Yeah.
And so
the coin market cap is constant.
Live.
So
right?
what is exactly the algorithm? They're just figuring out formulas to create what though?
It's all computer generated ways to lock down information, encryption,
and then that information is worth something.
Yeah,
that's the coin.
Because if so say I'm // right? That's my name.
Slash
right?
dash slash.
Okay.
And we have
The
computers, a global
dasher?
network of computers that has agreed that I'm /-cat slash. Right? That's me. // That's me.
Yep.
Now I'm known as // I am a token. That's me. I could be broken down into a bazillion little pieces, but it all started with //. If Rob comes up and says he's //, the rest of the network's gonna make sure that he's bunk. He doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to be created. So that stops the double spending thing that we see our economy get shit on and wind up in a $23 trillion fucking deficit. That's why.
But I don't understand how the one coin was created in the first place.
It's just the math, man. It's just
fucking
math.
idea. You just came up with something and you go, I'm coming up with something. I'm only gonna make this much of it. It's just like if you had Supreme and you go, yo, I'm making Supreme headbands and I'm only gonna make 6,000 of them. So I'm gonna sell them for $100.
But that's physical.
But you have
Dude,
to
but
make them differently.
But it's the same concept.
differently.
No, but
It's the
each
same
coin is a
concept.
different math equation.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And so
each one has to have its own unique way to be identified.
Yeah.
None of them can be
And
replicated.
so somebody created all these different ones, and then they put them out there.
Check it out. If we were in a number system, and to get to one whole number, 1 point, just think of it as a decimal point. A token is one dot.
So
right?
he
It's
figured
one
out
unit.
a formula to get to
But
one
just
point.
think about it. Say we're going to make the
Yes.
formula. We're going to use the numbers 0 through 9.
Mm-hmm.
We can only output so many tokens with that number chain,
Using a certain equation.
right? Because we only have so many numbers to play with. Well, now me and Rob, a year later, we do the same thing with tokens, only we use 0 through 99.
Mm-hmm.
We can pump out a lot more different calculations between that third column and other 10 numbers.
Okay.
So now it's mixed into each token, and we can produce more. Does that make sense? It makes better sense,
well,
right?
I understand the whole concept of it, but I just don't understand where where the value comes out of it. Like
That it
okay,
can't be
so like
replicated.
you came up with this formula to get to the whole number one,
Right.
and now that you're the only person that's ever came up with that formula, and no one else can replicate it. And if they do, like you'll know, right? So that's one coin. So this guy did that however many times, and then so he had 1 million Bitcoin. He created that many equations, or like this is what I'm just saying. Like so like, but so like, what's the value of it? Just because he came up with a formula. That no one else has ever done.
Yeah, you're telling someone, "Yo, I made this, and I'm
it?
proposing it. It's this many sets. It's this many identifiable units or tokens, right? So my computer algorithm ran this equation, and I came up with this many identifiable tokens, right?
That equal.
And I would like you guys, if you'd like to start spending with it.
Yes.
Instead of using dollars, use this because it's more secure, and this, that, and a third. So that's where the value comes from, because then two people are using it, they tell two more people, then 4 people, and then that's
the
how
thing is, that's not the part I don't understand.
So then what do you not understand?
I don't understand why the equation is worth anything.
Because he's creating something, he's creating a certain amount of units to be used in replacement of
so like
other
so
currencies
like so
being
like
exchanged.
so like what like
but
how
hang
like
on.
you can use
because
do that?
it also goes
like, why
through the
can't
internet.
anybody just like I don't understand.
You
like,
could create a cryptocurrency right now.
So
that's why there's 700 million cryptocurrencies.
Exactly.
So Bitcoin.
You can
wasn't
create
the
Mikey
first
Coin
one.
right now.
Bitcoin
and then
wasn't
just
the first cryptocurrency.
like get a
Dude, and
computer
if you told
to
enough,
do it.
and if you told enough people to start using Mikey Coin, you could be more valuable than Bitcoin.
But to who do I pay to create the coin?
That
you or whoever or I guess whatever. If you wanted to start,
I'd have to because I'd have to have somebody that created
a programmer,
the coin.
a code writer.
Well, so Mike, that is where it would be distinguishable among other currencies. You guys could use the same math, but it's been legitimized that yours is yours and yours is yours, and your shit can talk to each other. Like though the cryptocurrencies can interact when they're partnered on exchanges. You know what I'm saying? That then you can actually, like, I can buy cryptocurrency with US dollars or Japanese yen, or I could buy Bitcoin. I could do whatever the fuck I want on the exchanges. But when you're actually moving it to make it worth what it's worth, you're on a larger scale. You're talking about countries across the drink passing money back and forth daily. That usually takes days into weeks and costs mad money. Is happening like that, and there's a digital way to do it and not be replicated or hacked. That's its value out there on the internet, because that's where we're doing our marketing, our commerce.
My final question is, so the guy who created the Bitcoin,
dude, that's your last fucking question.
No, maybe it's not. It's definitely not my final.
But again, that's only one type of crypto.
But so my other question is though, so the guy who created the Bitcoin, he has to hold on.
He doesn't exist. No one knows
that's
who
him,
he is.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah.
So he has to
He's a
hold
fake person.
on to.
He's a fake person.
He has to hold on to some in order for him to make money.
Yeah, but
because he's not making money off the Bitcoin because
he probably bought as many as he wanted.
He's offering that right. So in order for him to make money, he has to hold on to some of that Bitcoin.
Well, he'll always make money because if he held on to it, he would have got it at zero.
This dude is you're talking about one of the most mysterious guys.
But also, so when you're buying Bitcoin and you're spending money, who's getting paid?
It outputs money on the other side, bro. So, all right, you go to the airport, you have US dollars. There's that little fucking place where you can trade it in. Yeah. You know, you get to the airport and then you trade it in for their money.
That's getting you. So when you say you drop $100 on
there's no
a 0.0008 of a Bitcoin,
right?
Somebody's getting that $100.
It goes into the market. It goes into that market.
It goes back into the Bitcoin.
That market that we were just looking at. Yeah. What's in each market? It goes in that market. It's a pool of money.
So does this guy own 100% of the Bitcoin that people are using?
No. It's the same as any other stock. Yeah. No one owns 100% of their own stock because then it wouldn't be on
does he own 51%?
No, that's the point of
decentralization.
That's what I'm saying.
The guy who invented it, he's not even in it. They said that he mined 100 million Bitcoin.
100 million. Okay.
So he mined his own Bitcoin?
No, 1 million.
Or he created it.
In the early days, he estimated to mine 1 million. Bitcoin.
1 million.
Yeah, so he's got a million to himself, chilling.
Mike, when it comes
to,
but he mined it himself.
He's not a real person.
He mined his own.
Not even they don't even know who it is. If it's a him or a her.
He mined his own Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But other people mined it too. Once that shit's open, once the
blockchain. So he doesn't get all dibs on all of it.
No.
So
otherwise, it would be worth less.
But that's what I'm saying. So when he created it,
the more
how did he lost dibs on it.
He
once
had what he
it?
created
No,
and
the more you
acquired.
give up, the higher the value is going to be. So you could hold more and be richer, but if you give out more, then you'll be able
So
to increase the value of your coin. So
And
then the
so-
less that you have will be worth more.
When people were mining Bitcoin, was this is a word for investing money
No,
into
no,
it,
no.
or
They
they're
literally
mining
use
it?
old desktop computers,
Yeah, and how?
and they just keep them running. They keep them running.
But
one
so
got that
what was the
reference?
mining process? Then?
Zoolander?
Huh?
They're trying to figure out the
They just keep
equation
their
of a Bitcoin.
computer on.
So
They just-
once they find out that equation of the
It basically,
Bitcoin,
like, feeds
they start
the-
collecting them.
It like feeds like a network or something like that. All those computers are just like on like a network or something like that, and they're just slowly making like
It's a peer-to-peer.
The
Yeah,
equation of the Bitcoin,
See up there?
like that.
Peer-to-peer
that
network.
Or something
That means
like
no
that.
one can lie.
it's, I mean,
See
it's
what I'm
the
saying?
the original cryptocurrency was used as a reusable proof of work.
Yeah. So it's proof. It's a legitimate
Bitcoin wasn't
proof.
the first one.
So
Yeah,
it's
Bitcoin
seed.
wasn't the first cryptocurrency. And the first transactions, the first values of the transactions of Bitcoin was, they were like, what's it called? It says it right here. Were negotiated by individuals on the Bitcoin forum, with one notable transaction of 10,000 Bitcoins used to indirectly purchase 2 pizzas delivered by Papa John's. Because this was all, it was
so,
all like.
so they had so that's like what, $15, cut 10,000 or just to make it easy, fucking 10,000 Bitcoin cost $20 back then.
yeah.
Just 10,000 times
'Cause
10,000.
it had
right
no
now.
And
value.
that's the shit you were talking about, where you're saying that they'd be worth 19 million.
Yeah. But it had no value then. People weren't using it. People start
But-
using it because they need to use it. They come across it.
Yeah.
They don't really subscribe to it at first. But that's why Bitcoin has a bad name, because, criminals use it. People are trying to evade government, But
Yeah,
that's
but
only
That's
one
also
type
why
of currency.
why it got so much more valuable
Yeah.
than the other ones.
So that
For
guy
sure.
mined $1 million and he disappeared. So he's gonna be all right.
Which I think it said that where is it?
Because I mean, if you
The
created it, I
blockchain
would hope you
technology
fucking
that
walked
they
away with
used
something.
made it capable to produce, I think, 100 million.
Unless
So
you're doing it for the greater
when
good.
you're mining, what's happening is, you know how processors just process? So they're building numbers based on the block. It's blocks of data. That's what
Yeah,
they're talking about,
yeah.
blockchain. Each block of data has a certain value, and then they build the chain with those values. So it takes processing power to do that, right? So it processes it, completes it, and reports that it's done. And the peer-to-peer network says, oh, that algorithm's been created. It's done. It's officially done. Move past it. Everybody calculate shit after that now. And it's a family of fucking machines that do that and get to the completion first. And that Bitcoin is the certified Bitcoin. And so people are using their computers. They're using like their graphics card processors, because the processors that they're using for gaming were fucking high speed. There was people I saw on like Vice and shit where they were running fucking straight up like 10 power fucking lines, if not more, through the back door of an old warehouse, and just racks of servers, bro, and just fucking mining and mining and mining.
That's the part that I don't have a crazy understanding of, is like the mining of it, just creating. But I guess you're just, like you said, you're running fucking.
Well, that's what I just explained, though.
equations.
That's
Yeah.
So
the processor completes it
what
and
I
then stamps it,
I
and
get
then
it.
everybody else knows that, so it moves past it.
I get
That's
it.
it.
So
I
what
get it.
I think
I
I
just don't
got.
understand how you like start that. Like you get all
You
this.
start by
equipment.
zero.
think
I'm saying you
The
get
first block-
No, so we'll,
I'm saying you get all this equipment, you fucking plug it all in your apartment, and then you fucking.
No money bought a
it's not
warehouse,
real.
bro.
Like, it's not real.
You
This
know,
is all.
Bob,
This is
that's
all.
just how I don't know.
None
how
of
you
this
get
is real.
started.
All kinds of shit.
I think
None of
it's
this
they
is
use
real.
their bandwidth. I think that's what it is.
But
No,
No, but
it
they have
stopped
to
being
figure out
worth
the
it.
equation
Bandos.
and then mine that or something.
Yeah,
Right?
but that's a thing of the past. It stopped being worth it unless there's some new shit
Yeah, 'cause
nobody knows
electricity's
is going to
too
be
much,
used.
and then you're running these big like that block computer the tower right there.
Mm-hmm.
You have like old ones. Like the older the computer, the better. From what I understand, from what I heard,
And then you just run a program
you just run on the Bitcoin network or whatever, or the cryptocurrency network,
and
you
just hope
run,
you
like,
find shit.
100 things, but you're literally running like 100 computers, so it's not worth it because you get like a little amount.
Yeah.
So
And plus the cloud services.
It's
would
worth it if
take
it's
over
free.
Anyway.
What do you
Oh.
say?
okay.
I said it would be worth it if it was free. If mining it meant
Then
you
it
get
wouldn't
free
be worth
Bitcoin.
You have to
$10,000.
Consume power, so you'd at least
You
be
get
paying
paid.
for the
Yeah.
equipment that does that, the software to get it in place functional, and at least the electricity.
It's like
You
paying
already
to
have
grow
costs.
weed. You
But
gotta
you're
pay for
still
the electricity to grow
everybody's
weed.
still
It's
paying
also
bills.
because it's the allure of I can send you $100,000 encryptedly, like encrypted.
Oh, I know. I get the whole con. I get it.
Encrypted.
It is now.
Yeah, you didn't have
It
to
is
add
now.
the Lee.
Yo,
It's encrypted. Like
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
Encrypted.
Encryptedly.
Like a hash,
Shimmer like a hive, like a hive, like a
numbers
hoe.
and letters.
Mm-hmm.
That if it doesn't match the server that it's getting sent to, then you can't open it.
Yeah. No, I get the whole. I get it.
So
I had $100 worth of Bitcoin at one point.
So we've been mentioning Bitcoin like stupid.
And then I made it like a 50 cents, and then I got rid of it.
I don't want to there's like we were talking
but
about.
I actually needed it.
There's like a million fucking types of cryptocurrencies out there. So like we were saying, like Mikey Coin or Sid Coin or Shed Coin,
Riverside Coin.
Shed Coin coming soon.
Let's say,
but all of these different fucking coins though, like they're like everyone's trying to find like the fucking, what do they call it, like the golden goose, like the, the one to come up, but so many of them are volatile, I believe is the correct term for it, bro. Right? So how do you determine this up and coming cryptocurrency from being dud versus of the fucking the
piff,
the fucking profit?
And that's why I have my head up his ass,
Yeah, so how do you where do you start on that search?
I just I make contact with the shit every day. I try to read as much as possible and retain as much as I can
on that currency,
on whatever currency that I'm looking at. But I'm a very one direction type of person, because I believe the company that I invested in
song
is gonna do it, and what's that?
Favorite song?
What's that? I missed that one.
I don't know.
One Direction?
Oh God, 1D. All right, cool.
Anywho, sorry, low hanging fruit is my shit.
Yeah, but you wind up learning about everything around it, despite what you're focused on. So that's what I picked up, and it's pretty intriguing, Mike, and you immediately have a ton of questions, and the more answers you get, the more you realize it's kind of hard to understand and wrap your head around, and it's that big of a fucking thing. It really is that big of a deal right now.
So how would you though navigate between something that you thought was gonna be the next big thing versus something that you're like, nah, that ain't gonna fucking be shit?
So I don't, I try to live within my means, but I have my moments where I'm fucking retarded, and so, you just try not to go too hard, where you can't come back from it. So I took my lumps in the cryptocurrency boom the year and a half ago or whatever, at the end of 2017. And I kind of lied in wait, and then I made contact with it again, and then I found the companies, and I'm seeing these things get pushed through other media channels and shit. I'm seeing now next steps being taken, and basically, if you look at it from another step back, cryptocurrency is just a thing that money can be funneled into that will work. And if us four decided we're gonna have 4 tokens between us, it doesn't mean shit to the world. But to us, it means something. So we have that trust ship that it's got a value of whatever we discussed it to be. But now money makes the world go round. So now you're talking about the whole globe, every service and product in between, and the need to be able to do it securely and quickly, and the fact that we depend on the internet for nothing less than everything. So to me, it's inevitable. Yeah. It's like when the internet came. It was inevitable. People fought it. They doubted it. They didn't understand it. But man, oh man, it's everything now, and I think the same shit is happening right now. Despite what it does, this is an opportunity. This is a new funnel of money that could go nowhere for me personally, but it's gonna do its thing. There will be mass adoption. There already is, and we will be using it whether we know it or fucking not.
I know that there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that run like this simultaneous like function in its programming. I realize that a lot of like the more sought after ones are these ones that have these like multi-purpose functions, and I wonder if that's like is the reason behind that because of like those centralized currencies or like the ones that are pro centralization, the fact that those could so easily just take over the market space, and then the only things that really like would be of value are something that function differently than those particular currencies. So like I know like Tron or XRP is what, Ripple? Yeah. So those ones it was for like gaming or like music and shit like that. We got stock in Ripple, bro. Buy more. Buy Ripple. Buy more Ripple. Everybody buy Ripple. Buy Tron. Buy NYC
They
coin.
screwed me and my boys, yo.
Nah, buy Ripple.
Yeah.
Don't listen to
screwed
Tech.
you?
Me and Dill.
Oh
Don't
no.
listen to him.
I gotta hear this story. But
Yeah, let's hear it.
How'd they fucking screw you, dude?
Dude, it just, it fucking shit the bed.
The Ripple shit the
That's how I
bed.
got
Yeah.
screwed.
That's
The
how everyone
Ripple?
gets
But
screwed.
I got
Is
back
it
on
gonna
the horse.
shit the bed or is it
It's
that?
already shit the bed.
Dude,
There's
but
no coming back.
Nah, dude. That's what I'm saying though. Is the
That shit's
fact that
done.
these fucking
I
things have
bet
these.
on them.
The fact that these things have these multifaceted fucking like programming to them. Like I think that. I don't know. I think that shit might Lazarus.
Think
fucking right
about
back,
it.
bro.
Think about it. Your business. You're in business, and you're in the banking business. You're in the global finance market. So you're a stock trader, wherever the fuck you work.
Yes.
You deal with that shit because that's all they're doing is they're throwing money back and forth across the continents every day. That's what it is. And you see that cryptocurrency is going to be used, whether people want it or not. It's going to be used. Now you have products that are saying that they're anti-government and let's just do this between us and not pay taxes. And then you have some cryptocurrencies like XRP that says the banks aren't going nowhere. Let's make something that clicks into their systems, blow it out, and make sure it works not only for them, but also the best out of all of the utility tokens. And for me, I would figure, that they would adopt the one that works for the system that's there, so they can keep winning. And they're going to make a choice. They can't not make a choice. I doubt they're going to go with Bitcoin because it's decentralized.
Yeah.
They'll probably go with a Ripple because it snaps into place.
Yeah. Damn. It's a fucking crazy. Yo, so that's why Gary Vee says, yo, I'll see you in 2028 with fucking crypto. Because fucking, it's going to be a different world, bro. When this shit's. Dude, that's some experience podcasting right there.
Hopefully.
Open
bro.
the fucking Pepsi, like 4 feet underneath the mic and behind it.
He's gonna.
And then he's pouring it in front of it, so then all that shit. Yeah.
I wanted to hear that part.
Fucking
Pepsi.
He's gonna do something in
Cola.
about 5 minutes.
brought to us. This podcast is brought to you by.
Bacardi and cola, they get the job done.
Puerto Rican
You like Uncle Jesse with the jingles?
Uncle,
baby.
two
You like the lead
twins with
singer
me.
of Train?
Two twins
The
with me.
lead
You
singer
can
of
call me
Train?
Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse.
It's a bar.
Uncle
I got-
Joey.
Gotta milk the cow while it's there.
I had to get the
Talk to
cutout.
Bessie.
Uncle Joey.
Uncle Joey.
I had a thing for puppets. Uncle Joey.
Explain.
Muppets. I mean, Muppets.
Explain yourself.
Muppets, dude. You know about the Muppets.
Muppet coin.
Nick's a big fan of Muppets.
Yeah.
I like the two guys up in the balcony.
Oh,
Not
that's
those Muppets.
Waldorf. It's Waldorf. What are their fucking names? What's
I'll
the,
look at it.
Waldorf and something? I only know that because I have a mask of the one with the fucking mustache.
I wasn't talking about the actual Muppets.
Oh, you went
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler, bro. Statler and Waldorf. That's like being you sitting in this corner right here.
It is. I feel like it.
We look like Statler.
I feel
and
like it.
Waldorf.
Everything I
That's
say,
me and
I'm
you,
like,
mad
yo.
older.
Yo. You gotta post that.
Facts.
Yeah, you gotta post
That's
that.
gonna be on the Twitter page. Official. What is it? The Shed quote. What is our Twitter page?
Dude, that's what I'm looking at right now.
ShedCast Live.
Yo, I'm literally
ShedCast
looking.
Live.
I'm literally looking at that right now.
Yeah, that's us right now. What's something that they say? Play a clip of them real quick so we could. What,
Everything I say, I'm looking at you guys like, oh,
Statler
it's about
and
to
Waldorf.
fucking.
Which one are you? Which one's which?
No, he's the round-faced one.
The one with the mustache.
The one to the left, and it's perfectly because you guys
Your
are.
butt
It's a,
shinned?
Yeah, I got Matt butt chin. I got like the wild
you
Ebenezer
have to be on
Scrooge
the,
beat.
yeah. That's just how you.
Saw
When I
that-
look at you left
All
and
that
right,
fucking bird watching.
it's perfect.
I just have to go lower in the seat.
Got 'em,
Shout out to
brother.
the auntie and shout out to King Palmas.
Yeah, they always hold it down.
That sponsor we're working out.
You could smoke a King Palm, in like more of a public area and not feel like
That's
like,
crazy because
yeah.
it looks like a fucking.
a cigar,
yeah.
cigarillo, or something you'd
Looks
bought
like a
from the store.
nar.
Statler and Waldorf.
Yo, DJ, can you turn on my
So
snare?
low.
Yeah, it wasn't rare.
Put it
It
up.
certainly wasn't well done. Hey, what are you doing? I dropped my gum. Hey, lady, would you toss my gum up? You could have taken it out of the wig first. There's something wrong with is here.
Why is Tech look drunk as fuck? Why is one of his eyes closed?
That's how he looks.
Oh, no wonder. It's too far away.
Oh!
Forget out your old army uniform. Yes, with 108 angry countries, there's bound to be trouble. Huh?
You look like two tiny old gentlemen. Can I hide here?
That's Mike Nice.
Hey, Ellen, here's one you missed.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, you can't do that
Alright.
anymore. That's
Yeah.
animal abuse.
It is. Pedo would fucking freak out, bro. But that's what Muppet Coin's all about.
Muppets.
I don't know.
Muppets, they get the job done.
All right.
I don't even know how to pull it back in from that, bro.
Yeah, that was a good segue.
What was it? Paul
Ma-
Blart
Paul-
Mall Cop.
Yeah, I couldn't even say it.
I
Paul
got,
Blart
I got
Mall
it somewhere
Cop.
clipped in the computer.
Yo, you
now
know-
there's a new one.
yo,
Them's
you know
are
I-
real words. Real words, Paul
Effects
Blart.
of finite Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, I had googled
It may
what
seem
happens
that
when
the group of
everyone
individuals
mines
must-
all the Bitcoin.
Yo,
Well, they exist. That's
'Cause,
it.
there's only
21 million Bitcoin.
They don't get used like that. Some
so
of them
there's
get
still more
spun-
out there?
huh?
Yeah, there's
To be
mad of them
mined?
out there,
Yeah.
bro.
be
It's on that
mined?
website. We saw it was
be
a different
mined.
column.
Uh huh.
Well,
But they're
It's crazy, dude.
well, we're never gonna mine them.
no, it's done.
I go
The-
out there with my
the
pickaxe,
Asians mine
my
'em.
pickaxe, and
Yeah.
my little sifter.
Yeah, dude, I dropped the Zoolander joke earlier and no one fucking laughed.
Was it
So
Black
what is that?
So I'm not gonna
a
fucking
center
give you
for
credit.
ants?
An economy for ants.
3 times as size. Yo, my boy Juvie. I'm gonna bring Juvie back right now.
Is he coming on the podcast
Yeah, he is. October.
when he gets back from Oklahoma?
Nah, it was Utah.
Oh.
I think Juvie Day is gonna be on the podcast October 26th,
Is that
Nice.
Rehab High School
part 2.
When we talked
Part
about
3?
Part
Yo,
three.
that could have been a two-parter.
Yeah, but
That's a long one.
but
We
you
need
know
a
why? do you know-
Videography.
I gotta
for
be
that,
I
yo.
gotta be honest with you though. The reason why we didn't do it in 2 parts is
Uh-huh.
because some of the jokes would have been taken out of context.
Oh, because it was that.
There was
yeah.
callbacks and there was a lot of context and there were just things that would have been taken out of context had you not listened to the whole thing. So
Okay.
for anyone listening, I suggest just listen through it, man. It's listen to it in parts, but listen to it in
It was
a
a good
whole.
one.
Yeah, 100%. You know, everyone was just fucking. Dude, we were in a whole nother planet that night. That was fucking awesome. But so Juvie Dave, where the fuck were we coming off of this shit? Come on.
Oh,
Someone fucking
finite
fish me in.
Bitcoin.
Nah, finite Bitcoin, my ass. What the fuck were we talking about? Tech, come on.
Mining Bitcoin.
Help me out, bro.
21 million Bitcoin.
Why is your nose on the fucking mic there?
Because he knows the mic.
Oh,
Nobody knows the mic better than I knows the mic.
it's all those fucking nasal spray shits you've been doing.
That's a nice mic.
What were we talking about? Fucking
Natural oils.
nah.
You just started talking about Juvie
yeah, nah. I
coming in
said-
October.
Nah, right before that, bro.
I said that there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin.
Finite
but they
amount
were
of
done.
Bitcoin. They
They
said
were
they're
done.
done. They're fucking done.
That's it. They're done.
Yeah, but there was Jesus effing Christmas, dude. I'm this is gonna fuck me up right now. What the fuck? I was about to bring Juvie Dave in for a fucking
It's gonna come back.
Rebel
It
without
is.
a cause.
I was gonna bring him back in for like
Follow up.
yeah.
We're
like I was
talking
gonna- I was
about
gonna give us
the shed. I mean,
His side of the
other
story.
cast.
no right before the 4th of July cast.
They want his side of the story.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna come do.
Everyone on the comments is telling me that they want his side of the story.
Who? On what comments? You have me fooled for a
Yeah, man.
minute. That'd be
Damn,
awesome,
that's
dude.
killer, bro. I almost want to pause it, run it back to prove a point.
I don't think there was anything there.
Nah, so you just take note when you're, QCing it.
Nah,
Jot it down and bring it up in the next
right
one.
now and run another one. Crank
Nah,
this AC
Juvie
up.
Dave needed that, bro. He needed that. Whatever. Whatever.
Oklahoma.
Mm-mm.
Ha!
Nah, bro. Lost it.
All
You were
right,
upset
so
about your Zoom
next time on the ShedCast.
Yeah, I was
Reference
upset about
gone
Zoom.
wrong.
Oh! the Obvious Hobbyist comes through with the fucking yo.
What do you say?
Zoolander.
Yo, you should change
Zoolander.
your fucking name on IG to Mariano Rivera because you came through with the Save.
I got
Fucking-
the Captain America
What?
Mario Rivera bobblehead the other day. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just want to drop that on you. I got that.
Yo, so in the city, he got shit faced with my boy Aviel. Wow. All of that for this story. Jesus Christ.
Whoopsie-daisy. Should
Yo,
let it go.
so he got shit faced off of Four Loko, shout out to Doomer, and fucking just blacked out in the city. And my boy Aviel and him were running down I forgot it's like one of the streets right next to Grand Central Station, and they were opening every door to every business like in a row, and whatever the establishment was, he would open the door, run in, and be like, "What is this, a bank for ants?" and then run out, and then like, "What is this, a pizza shop for ants?" and like run out, like, yo, and was going down the whole street
You
fucking.
think he needed this?
What?
You think he needed this one?
Yeah, he needed that. That didn't even do. That's what I'm saying. All of that for that fucking garbage.
on
ass
video?
story.
I don't think he needed that.
Nah,
Well, you got it out.
This is
It's the
before.
important
This is
part.
before the days of video. But
That's
Is this what got him into rehab high school?
no, this is after rehab. He didn't go to rehab high school. He didn't go to rehab high school.
Harrington went to rehab high school.
Yo, he was on our live. He checked
I
in.
know.
He was the first person.
Yeah, he told me, yo, if he's not running his own live, that's whack or some shit.
What?
So I had to flip the camera around to show that it was me.
Facts.
I was like, yo, it was mad funny. I was like, yo, to think that someone else was running my live, maybe it was like, I was like, all right, you think someone else is running my live?
Like we got another.
Like,
we got
yo,
an
run my
intern.
live for me?
We got
But
an
you're not
intern.
there?
Brought in a consultant or
Wait, but you're
something?
not there though.
Huh? I was at the Summit Lounge doing a live
No, I know,
video.
but then
And
it
he
would
was like,
never
yo,
show
if that's
you.
not him doing his live, then I was like, yo, he actually thinks someone's doing my own
Yeah,
live.
but then the camera didn't show you at all.
No,
you know what I mean?
It
It
was
did.
posted up on the
no,
on the
I
thing.
reversed it to me.
Just to prove it.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, what
No, I'm
up?
saying, but before that, when you had the camera
No,
going,
but I'm saying, no, for him to think that I actually had somebody running my own live, with not
it probably
me.
would have been me.
Well, I'm saying, though, that made me think,
But I have
like,
to
oh,
find
like, that was
parking.
crazy.
Yeah, you did. That took a minute. You missed almost the whole show.
Yeah, I mean, I walked in. I had to be like, yeah, I think I'm a member here.
Dude, you just gotta say that you're a Riverside culture representative.
I was
They
like,
made
yo,
you
you
pay?
guys don't remember me?
They made you pay.
I was behind here. I missed the first one. I was behind. I watched it through a security camera. I had
That
to
would have
do it
been
in the
ill footage. You
closet.
should, yo, that would
I
have been ill
have it.
content.
I have
Do the
it.
camera.
I have
Do
it.
the footage.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I swear to God, I have it.
Send
You
it to
don't
me.
have it. You don't have that.
I'm gonna need that. We need to put
I
that
got
on.
you. Where's my
We
phone?
need to put that up. Yo, what do you guys think? We should run it off this one. Let's get some more smoke in there, and
Yeah.
fucking.
That was good.
We'll
That was a
back.
good cast.
We'll let the people
Let's do,
decide.
you want to do
Some plugs.
yeah.
So on the way out, I'm gonna start it right here. Follow our boy at Jeffrey Doomer.
Let's go. Alien Entourage.
Fucking, he's killing it, bro. He's gonna be back up here in a couple weeks. Yo, real quick, would you guys be down to
Go see him?
next week? Nah, next week. Yeah, sort of. But next week or the week after, if we took a ride down Friday night and picked him up, and we went out Friday night in DC and then drove back with him Saturday, would you guys be down to do that? We'll do a podcast down at his fucking apartment and shit.
What time do we leave Friday?
Anytime. It takes
So
5 hours to get
I
there.
can go.
5.5.
I can go to work Friday, but then take Saturday off.
Yeah, if that's cool. I just figured it'd be kind of dope. We'll go down there and do a podcast and fucking
we can do that. Or when? Because
in like 2 weeks or a week.
Yo, how about? All right, so this next week coming up,
Yep.
I have Saturday off.
All right, so let's try
Not
and run
this
it.
next week. It's like 2 weeks.
I think that's the week that he's coming back. It's the third week of August.
Yeah, right around that time, I have a Saturday off.
So then let's run it.
All right, cool.
You cool with that, Ty?
You gotta tell me the date. Which Saturday?
It's gonna be like 17th around mid October or something.
Like Nah, August.
I mean, I said October. I'll tell you. I'll literally tell you right now. Calendar.
Yeah, I can get that. I can get that off. It's hard to get Saturdays off.
All right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
My Saturday off is not till the 23rd and 24th.
All right, we'll figure it out.
You wanna do it that week?
We'll figure it out. Well, we gotta see when he's coming back. But either way, let's fucking do these plugs. Follow Jeffrey Doomer. He's coming back soon. He'll be on
Alien
the fucking
Entourage.
podcast for plenty of fucking episodes. We've all missed him just as much as you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's my thing.
And shout out to
I
our fucking
realized.
guest today. You want to give where could they find you?
Little outro.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And,
Anytime.
Again, just one more thing. I'm not an authority on any financial investment, anything like that, but I share what I know about it. I could be wrong, what have you, but it was really good time. I appreciate it. And where am I? I'm at the Obvious Hobbyist.
At the Obvious Hobbyist on IG. What about
I am.
YouTube?
Yeah, same shit, you know.
Same
Obvious
shit.
Hobbyist.
There I am. You know, I'm getting gravy
No
like your mother's
underscores?
ladle.
Can we get a round of applause for our fucking guest? Let's do that. Let's do that. I like that. Golf clap. Golf clap.
That sounds really
Golf
good.
clap. I gotta edit that. And you can follow me at Sid_Floyd.
Yeah, you can follow me at Mike Nice TT.
And
You follow me
the
at,
one and only
on Instagram, ShedTech8, Facebook,
at Tectopus8.
ShedTech8, SoundCloud, the official ShedCast,
Twitter,
ShedCast Live,
YouTube.
the ShedCast, and Instagram at the ShedCast.
Yeah.
Wait, which one's the official ShedCast and which one's the ShedCast?
I think the SoundCloud is the official.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
YouTube
It
ShedCast.
is. The SoundCloud is the official Shedcast.
YouTube at the ShedCast. Instagram
We're at the
the
Shed.
ShedCast.
You know us by the logo.
All the other
Absolutely.
ones are
Shout out to Tony Pence.
imposters.
Pens.
Shout out Tony Pence. Shout out Keisha Sweets.
And this
Shout out.
podcast is brought to you by
King Palms.
almost,
Riverside,
almost
Riverside
King Palms.
Culture.
Riverside Culture.
And
Alien Entourage.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is?
Yo, how about a little brown nose and shout out
Okay.
to Gas Digital.
Absolutely.
So shout out Gas Digital
Okay.
and Ralph's son.
Yo,
Follow.
Yeah,
Follow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Give him a
Shout
round of
out.
applause too. Just ash on yourself.
Yo, and shout out to
Robbie the Fire
and Mike Harrington,
and Mike Harrington and
for
Running
coming
Mouth
through.
Podcast.
Yeah, for 4th of July. That was fucking awesome.
And hopefully they'll be back soon.
Shout out.
Yeah, we should. I talked to. I'm gonna put this out there. I talked to Robbie the other day about doing possibly doing a smoke out, bug out, and
So yeah,
have some of our people up at the summit sponsor it.
awesome. So
Mhm.
we might have another. You never know.
Shout out
Perhaps.
Hole in the Wall
Persnickety.
Cultivation.
Oh yes.
Hole in the Wall
absolutely.
Skincare.
Nice. That's a good plug. Hole in the wall.
Shout out Pioneer Valley Genetics.
That's a good one too. Shout out Spit It then. You know,
Everybody's-
we're all gonna
the whole
spit-
fam.
Yeah,
Shout out
that's
Summit
the
Lounge.
fam up there.
Shout out TLC. Shout out
The
Summit Lounge.
loveliest _TLC for winning the competition. last
Shout
year.
out Rasta.
Rasta
I am Rasta.
and Tech.
Roger. Shout out to Dab Creeks.
Then it came
Kush
up
Stock.
the other day. HD Vision.
Chronic
HG,
Trips.
yeah.
Seth's with Chronic Trips.
Chronic Trips. Yeah,
Chronic
shout
Trips.
Out.
That's a good one.
Soon to be
Blood.
actually.
Moon.
I talked to Seth from Chronic Trips about sponsoring us.
Really?
Yeah, with some gear.
Cool.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
some real shit actually.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah, we got there.
Yes, that's awesome.
One way or another.
We'll get in there.
All right, ladies and
Shout out.
gentlemen. Mikey.
Like, yeah.
Sorry for we missed. We'll get you next time. Shout out. Sayonara later.
Shout
Bitches.